at the beautiful Yarra Racecourse. Perfect, and that's a wrap. Thanks, Beck. Cheers. We've just finished recording a promo for the Yarra Valley Pro Rodeo coming back to the Yarra Racecourse, of course, in 2019. And speaking of wraps, yes, welcome to the midweek wrap on Yarra Rangers Live TV, the only hyper-local news program for the Yarra Valley and the Rangers, where every week we bring to you the latest local news headlines, the weather ahead, and we share with you what Yarra Rangers Live TV's been up to. And this week it's been one of our biggest since we started in January, of course, in 2017. We had an exclusive up in the sky, behind Skywhale, over the Yarra Valley. We had an exclusive interview with Alberto Contador at the GIRO Della Donna, yes, a Spanish cycling champ. He came out to the Valley and the Rangers. We were there, nobody else was. And of course, we also were at the Lilydale Air Show, where we discovered that the Lilydale Airport was changing its name to the Yarra Valley Airport. How exciting is that? Stay tuned for those stories after the news, because now it's time for the latest local news headlines presented by former Channel 9 and Channel 10 presenter and journo, Mr. Jim Brown.
Hi, I'm Jim Brown. Welcome to the midweek wrap brought to you as we approach Christmas in the beautiful grounds, once again, of the Killara Estate and Winery in Seville East. In the Mail newspapers this week, a special supplement showing all the Christmas events in the Dandenong Ranges, town by town. So you'll be able to choose one that suits you and your family. In the Rangers Trader, Ferntree Gully and Belgrave Mails, a story about a southern Dandenong's Rangers land care group lamenting the fact that it's missed out on its latest government funding application and now worries about its ability to carry on. Pit Stop was formed to work with volunteers and the Yarra Rangers Council to attack an infestation of Pittosporum around the Menzies Creek. A spokesman for the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning said Pit Stop was given just over $48,000 for a weed clearing project due to be completed last August, but the group has not submitted a completion report to account for the money. In the Upper Yarra Mail, a story about a public misconception concerning the perceived closing of police stations. It appears that some think that when they go to the local police station and see a closed sign, it doesn't mean the station has been permanently closed. Rather, it's just to let them know that the station is temporarily unmanned while those on duty are out attending to other business. Area Commander Peter Wilson says a network of 10 police stations provide coverage for this region, but only 3, Lilydale, Mirralbark and Belgrave, are open 24 hours. The others provide a 16-hour coverage, and after midnight, Belgrave's support comes from Mirralbark or Lilydale. Inspector Wilson advises that public who need to go to their local police station should ring first to see if anyone is on duty. And in the Mountain Views Mail, a success story for local winemaker Kate Goodman, who has just won Winemaker of the Year for Australian Women in Wine recently in Sydney. Kate has been active not just in the Yarra Valley wine community, but is also the chief winemaker for Penley Estate in the Coonawarra region of South Australia. She also makes a couple of her own wines, which are highly respected. Her success is remarkable because last year her career was interrupted when she had to fight breast cancer. She won that battle and was able to move on and win this prestigious award. Congratulations. Thanks for watching, and by the way, if you look at a story from Animal Aid in the Mail newspapers, you'll see that the food that we like stuffing ourselves with at Christmas may be bad for your dog. Just bear that in mind. I'm Jim Brown. Thanks for watching. Stand by now for the weather.
up bright and curly, of course, to come out to Dixon's Creek to watch Skywhale take off, and not just watch Skywhale take off, but we were actually following it in a global ballooning hot air balloon. Here's some highlights from that amazing experience.
The idea that nature is not really here for us, we're just lucky to witness it. So whales evolved from little creatures that are a bit like donkeys. They were mammals. They went back into the sea and became gigantic and intelligent and adapted to a very difficult environment. But they could have easily have gone into the air.
Yes, depending on, of course, the evolution.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, it's just as difficult an environment. They could have evolved into the Skywhale, but they didn't. They evolved into the biggest creatures that have ever roamed the earth in the sea.
Yes.
But it could have gone any way.
Yeah.
And perhaps the Skywhale has been hiding all this time, and or has she been genetically engineered, or she brings all these ideas to our minds. And at the same time, what was really inspiring was that it's not a site for art. You know, these balloons are not actually art objects ever. They're other things. They're flying machines, or they're ads, or whatever it is. They're not often an art object.
And on Saturday, of course, we started off the weekend here in Warburton, where the Giro Della Donna came to town. Of course, Alberto Contador, the former cycling world champ, he was here all the way from Spain. And to find out more, let's check out some highlights from that live cross. Hola, Alberto. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, we are very privileged and humbled to have you here in Warburton. Thanks for coming all the way from Spain. Now, I'd love to ask you, what is your most memorable moment in your long cycling career?
Hello all. It was my more special moment this in all my career. It's crazy, but it's here in Australia.
Wow.
It was at the Tour Down Under,
Yes.
because it was in 2005 that I come back to the competition after my illness, brain stroke.
Wow.
And come back in January to the competition after 1.5 months of training. And remember that take the victory in the stage of Willunga, the king stage of Tour Down Under. And for me, this is the more special victory of all my life, more than the Tour de France, the Giro, and the Vuelta, no? Because special after my illness.
That's your illness, that's right. And to get back on the bike and go again, that's fantastic. And of course, if you don't know Alberto, he won the Tour de France twice, the Giro d'Italia twice, and the Vuelta España 3 times. And you're one of 7 cyclists, of course, who have won all 3 major cycling tours, which is fantastic. You've had a fantastic career. Thank you so much for coming out to Warburton. We hope you enjoy your stay here in the beautiful Yarra Valley and the Ranges, and look, fingers crossed we might see you next year. Of course, the Giro Della Donna, it's all part of Yarra Ranges Tourism's Ciao Yarra Valley Ciao activities. If you haven't heard of Ciao Yarra Valley Ciao, go to visit yarravalley.com.au and find out, of course, what Ciao Yarra Valley Ciao is about. Of course, it's basically celebrating the influence, of course, that the Italians have had in the Yarra Valley and the Ranges over the years, and this is one of the awesome activities. There's another awesome event happening next week, which is the Targa Florio. All these classic cars are going to be coming through the Yarra Valley and the Ranges, of course. Some fantastic old Ferraris, Alfa Romeos, but today it's all about the Giro Della Donna. And if you want to find out more, just give a nice close-up of that, Mitch. Visit yarravalley.com.au. Of course, that's brought to you by Yarra Ranges Tourism. It's all about eat, drink and move. So mangiare, bere, muovere. Of course, all part of Ciao Yarra Valley Ciao. And they're off and racing. This is a timed event, and it's great to see riders young and old taking part in this event. Off they go to trek through the trails and the roads, of course, on Donna Buang, the beautiful Mount Donna Buang in Warburton. And on Sunday, we came to Lilydale Air Show, where Lilydale Airport was celebrating their 50th anniversary. We started off those two live crosses high in the sky, above the airfield, of course, and here are some exciting highlights from that live cross. Bob, hey, thank you very much for joining us live on Yarra Ranges Live TV.
My pleasure.
Now, what can our viewers expect to see when they come to the air show?
Well, basically, we will have quite an array of aircraft arriving through the morning, and then the air show itself proper will get away at about 1:30 or 13:30 in aviation talk. There'll be a launch of the new name of the airfield on prior to that. It's going to become Yarra Valley. There, Yarra Valley for sure, because it's the centre of the Yarra Valley, the aviation centre. And of course, during the day, we'll have an extensive display of a great variety of aircraft, including some pretty spectacular aerobatics. Paul Andronica will start off with his extra, and that is just mind-blowing performance. He will open and close the show. It'll be followed by a number of other formations and aircraft. I'm flying in one of the formations myself, and we'll have 12 aircraft up together and do a number of passes with that for the entertainment of the crowd and an indication of what it's like to see aircraft flying in close formation.
Yeah, as you heard Bob mention, there is a lot to see and to discover here at the Lilydale Air Show for 2018. It's the 50th anniversary for the Lilydale Airport, and how exciting is that? You heard it first on Yarra Ranges Live TV. The Lilydale Airport is going to be renamed. So there's a special renaming ceremony taking place today, which is fantastic. And we have to, of course, acknowledge Lilydale Flying School, of course, and Yarra Valley Aviation. They do a fantastic job. And of course, if you want to learn how to fly, we've got the facilities right here in our very own backyard with some fantastic staff, some fantastic planes, of course. And to find out more, be sure to use your favourite search engine and check out Lilydale Flying School and Lilydale Aviation. Oh, what a massive midweek wrap where we spent more time in the air than on the ground, of course. A big thanks to everyone involved in this week's production. Jim Brown for reading the latest local news headlines, Mitch Hatton, live cameraman extraordinaire, of course, and also Danny Field for putting together the midweek wrap for us. As always, thank you very much to you guys for watching, for liking and for sharing our posts and for commenting, of course, and getting involved in what we do. As always, we're living, we're loving and we're sharing life in the Yarra Valley and the Ranges, only on Yarra Ranges Live TV. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.